Batman's looking pretty good for being around for 75 years. Even if he's gone through a few makeovers, the Dark Knight continues to be one of the most popular comic characters ever. We talked to a few Bat-centric celebrities to find out why the Caped Crusader has endured.
I think that as long as you can entertain people, it has nothing to do with how long this franchise has been in existence. I think that people got entertained with Batman through the comic books, through books, and through magazines, and through films. I mean, every way possible. And as long as you provide great entertainment, you will be alive and you will keep going forever.
I'll tell you one reason, and maybe the reason, I don't really know. Because he has no superpowers. That was one of the things that was always cool about him, that he actually had to create this. So he actually had to build his outfit. He had to build everything, or have someone build it, and have the wherewithal to make something, because he was vulnerable. He didn't have anything that was. There were no superpowers, which separates him. Also, he's classic in the sense that he has got the dark and the light side of his personality. Plus, you know, he's Bruce Wayne. He's just so cool.
I think he's really cool. And I didn't know he was 75 years of age until now you mentioned it, and I think that is really cool. Now I have to go away and have a think about it. So off the cuff, he has pointy ears and he fights crime, you know, and he wears a black suit and he doesn't use guns, you know, that kind of. I mean, I've got to go through my basic spec on him. It's like, on the case file and open that up. But I mean, he's Batman, of course. I wonder where he'll be in another 75 years time.
Many characters have sympathetic mythos and backstories. You know, Superman is the last remaining son of Krypton. But we can't get our heads around that. Like the idea of like, oh my God, Earth blew up and I'm the only one left. Like it's too big of a notion for us. But we can get our heads around a little kid who loses their parents, because that's something that we were all scared of at one point in our lives. And I think that's what connects people to Batman, is the little boy who lost his parents and then grew up to punch the shit out of anyone who would dare to do the same to some other little kid. That's a hero.
You know, it's like the superhero that doesn't have just magic powers, you know, like the self-made superhero, and with like a tortured past, but he's also got all these things going for him. Like he's rich and handsome, and like he shouldn't be as depressed as it seems like he is. He's also a detective, and I think that people like detective stories.
He's he's living a life of sacrifice. I think that's also something that people romanticize. That he could be happy, but he's not, because he's taken on the burden of all of mankind's sins, you know, and he's there to fight against that stuff, and he's sacrificed his life in order to do it, and that's like the most heroic thing you can do.
You know, he was never my hero growing up, because he had no special skill. He
He likes superpowers.
Yeah, Superman was the guy,
but that's why Batman, I think, is because he's a man with.
He's shadowy.
And also he's a real person, and he does it all through his Batmobile and his Bat stuff.
Yeah.
So you feel like Batman is attainable.
Yeah.
In some
Sherlock
way.
Holmes.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's masked. He's kind of unidentifiable.
Self-appointed.
75 years, really.
It's one of those great characters, vigilante, you know, taking the law into his own hands, righteous kind of guys, that kind of very, you know, American kind of superhero. I think, you know, they'll keep telling and retelling this story.
They're like, there's the superheroes that are like aliens, and then there's sort of Batman, and it's really what he's sort of up against, what he's fighting for. I think, I wish we had one.
He always the dark side of human, yeah, and all people have some kind of dark part. Then, yeah, just connect to the dark side.
Chris Nolan.
Yeah, you think he's the reason why he's still going on?
Yeah. When he did Batman Begins, he completely re-entered our minds. Batman did as a reality. I mean, Chris made him a person. You know, somebody with flesh and bone and fear and all that stuff. But how did he get to be this person? That was wonderful.
We also like to say that he's the ultimate embodiment of affluent white guy problems.
Oh, I'm so rich. It's tough to be me, you guys.
Yeah, he's like a walking Sundance movie.
I think we all know the answer to that. Batman is one of the ultimate superheroes because he's dark and mysterious, and there's a real history with him. And we got the great one right there, Adam West, who's one of the coolest dudes. Have you ever met him?
Batman has been in the social popular conscience for a long time. And they're now calling me the $1 billion Batman because I started all this stuff. You know, this huge franchise. And just send a check.
Steel, oil, our #1 export in America is Batman. And I'm proud to say that.